From the biggest moments.
Can you believe it?
To gold medal championships.
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
It's your update on Canada's game. You're listening to the True North Ice Podcast with Jacob Ewing and Caleb Schneider.
Welcome to the True North Ice Podcast, where we talk all things Hockey Canada and everything Canadian hockey related. As always, we're your hosts. My name is Jacob Ewing, joined alongside Caleb Schneider. Remember, you can find the True North Ice Podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms. Caleb, how are we doing on this fine Tuesday night as of recording?
It's been great. Sports is buzzing. As we talked in the last episode, CHL playoffs are on, so there's playoff hockey on all day. NCAA Frozen Four is coming up this weekend. The Canadian football team is at it. We're recording as of the second game as they're playing Tunisia.
0-0.
0-0 as of right now. And you know what? A great day for the Sens. Even though they got blown out and had a piss-poor performance in the first period, they got exactly what they needed on the out-of-town scoreboard.
Relieved.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm relieved. It's like when, you live in a household and you have to go to the bathroom and you wake up in the morning, but there's somebody in the shower. And
Okay.
You know what? They get out of the shower at the perfect time. And what do you get to do? You get to go to the bathroom. Relief, Caleb. As we'll get to the NHL part, as we'll have a conversation about the playoff race. But Tuesday was a stinker for every team in the wild card race in the Eastern Conference.
East.
Insane. I think every team, just maybe the Boston Bruins, solidified themselves as probably up to 90% now to make the playoffs after their win today. But the Islanders lose, the Sens lose, the Blue Jackets lose, the Red Wings lose. Everybody in the race loses.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. What a Tuesday night. That's what it's going to be like every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. There's only like 2 more weeks left of these kind of types of games. Those Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, primetime nights, it's going to be the exact same thing every single time. It's just
Could be great.
It's hard because we only got we're only watching games on 2 screens. So as of the time of this recording, also we haven't watched. I haven't went back and watched the recaps and game tapes of any of these other games other than Sens, a little bit of the Habs. But it's fun stuff, man. Shout out to the Sens. They did what they needed to do tonight. They did not go down. They did not go up in the standings. And at this point, that's good. But you know what? The Capitals might have just walked themselves back in the race as well. So that's the downfall.
True.
That's the downfall of some of this.
But
some teams can find their way.
The only thing about that is the Capitals were also playing the Philadelphia Flyers,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's a good thing that the Capitals
Oh, yeah,
won.
for sure. I'm just saying a team now is back in it.
Yes. One more point about the Sens before we move on to some of the main conversations
We'll
about
get
today's
back-
episode.
we'll get
we'll
back
get back
to
to
NHL at the
it.
end.
The Sens did lose Carter Yakimchuk late in the game. Goes down, leaves the game immediately. Stutter, you hope potentially he's just stunned, out of breath, but the Sens cannot afford to lose another defender. So,
Well, they're getting one back. They're fine.
he's also a left-handed defenseman. You need
Yakimchuk's left-handed.
He's a right-handed defenseman. The defenseman we get back would be a left-handed defenseman.
Gotcha.
Anyways, never going to see injuries. But let's move on to the topic of today's episode, Caleb. We have a couple different topics. As you mentioned, PWHL, the trade deadline just finished, man. What a deadline it was.
It was crazy.
A boatload of one move made. A trade between the New York Sirens and the Minnesota Frost. All that and more when we break that down. CHL talk as the playoffs are underway. Every team is about 3 games into their first round
3 or
series.
4.
Getting there, 3 or 4, 6 or 7. NCAA, that was weird. NCAA going on. Frozen Four, as you mentioned, coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
And we'll have some talk about Gavin Mckenna and some potential news rumbling around the topic of our podcast, Team Canada, potentially. And the NHL, we'll kind of end it with that. And there's a lot going on. The Maple Leafs kick Brad Trey living in the butt out of Toronto. We'll talk about maybe what direction the Leafs want to go with their next GM. Bruce Cassidy out of Vegas. And John Tortorella in.
And Jim Nell back as well.
Jim Neal, he signs an extension, yes.
That's
pretty. I think we all expected that, yeah.
He's Canadian, though. Throw it in there.
He is Canadian, of
We'll
course.
throw it in there, so... Let's... We'll start with the P-dub first, and then we'll work our way down. Is that kind of the plan, or what do you
Yeah,
think?
let's do it. Okay, Kelp. So there was, as I mentioned, one trade in the PWHL. Defender Jinsey Rose of the New York Sirens heads over to back-to-back Walter Cup champions, Minnesota Frost. In return, Denisa Krzyzova goes towards New York to the Big Apple from the Minnesota Frost. Caleb, one trade. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's kind of more of a depth move for both teams. The Frost get a decent bottom pairing player, and the Sirens get a player who's been on the Frost fourth line, kind of buried, where she honestly on the Sirens might move up a line or two. She could find herself, probably not right off the bat, but could find herself in a top 6 position. Christine Koltenkova just got hurt the other day, so there's openings in that forward core. But I mean, kind of a depth move. I think the Sirens, they needed more of an offensive boost in the forward core. Obviously, just injuries don't help. And there's a higher upside for her to make more of an impact right away. And then the Frost with Jinsey Rose makes sense. She'll probably rotate in and out. But if you can get an asset like that and build your D-core, a decent player who can fill out the bottom of your D-core, it works out. And I mean, I think Krzyzova is definitely the better player at the higher upside that could impact a team right away. But the Frost don't need that. So I like the trade for both teams, honestly. It's a win-win, and I mean, they're depth players, but I like it for both teams.
And to be fair to Minnesota, obviously in the offseason, they lost their 2 top defenders in Sophie Jakes as well as Claire Thompson.
Yeah.
And we obviously know the topic of conversation around the Minnesota Frost this year has been their offense. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
We took a look at a couple podcasts ago that they have, probably still to this day, like 5 players in the top 10, all in points, are all Frost.
Yeah, and well, their D-core is great now. Like, they have one of the top D-cores as well.
Yeah.
Like, Boston's got the great first pairing, but like honestly, you've got 3 good pairings that you can roll out night in and night out with the Frost. So it's very interesting, and I would say definitely best forward core, but their defenders are right there as well, in my opinion, at least. So.
And they're got to gear up for another Walter Cup championship as they're probably going to make the playoffs. They are one of those 3 teams that have already, I'd say, solidified themselves into the playoff picture.
For sure. Yeah.
The thing is, obviously, if any team's going to understand what it takes to win the playoffs, it's Minnesota. And you mentioned a depth move, just another option to go in the lineup day in, day out, especially down the stretch when things get tougher. It's harder hockey, and you have an opportunity there to have another option on the back end. So that's what it is for Minnesota. And for the New York Sirens, acquiring another forward, obviously not going to be, well, I guess 27 points. They are chasing the Ottawa Charge. 2 wins would do it, so I guess not impossible.
No.
They're 6 points back. But you got to feel this is more of a rebuilding year, obviously, more of a progressive year. Get the young kids some time on the ice. Just another option. You mentioned Krzyzova was a player who was buried on the Frost. Going to get an opportunity here in New York, and anything can happen.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I think she'll definitely... The Sirens, if they want to make a push, I think having her be an impact player right away would help. I mean, we'll see we'll see I think they play tomorrow, so this podcast will be out by the time the Sirens play their next game, but we'll see what line she's on. My guess is 3rd line, maybe 2nd line possibly, but she's going to be elevated. She's going to I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure she wasn't playing on a power play on Minnesota. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember exactly, and wasn't really doing much in the PK. So I wonder maybe she finds some power play time, power play 2, up her time on ice, just elevate her ice time. But yeah, the Sirens need it she's not going to be the player that's going to push them over the edge, but a little depth move, and you might as well help with the Frost. If you want to get a player that has higher upside, you give away a bottom pairing defender, right?
Exactly. So, yeah, this trade doesn't hurt the Frost whatsoever.
Doesn't hurt either team.
I think you just. Pardon me. Yeah, I went. Pardon me. It didn't hurt the New York Sirens at all. You're going to bring a third pairing defender for maybe a player's got a bit of upside. Krzyzova is 31 years old, has 5 points this year with the Minnesota Frost, 1 goal, 4 assists. Last year only had 9 in 30 games. She wears an A for Team Czechia on the international stage. Obviously coming off the Olympics this year, 0 points in 5 games. But she's had some productive years. Maybe, I don't want to say on the older side in the PWHL. She's 31 years old. But, there's a little bit of upside there in the NCAA. It was around a point per game back in around 2014 to 2018 it would have been.
Okay.
Maybe there's something there.
Yeah, and she also, interesting story, she was actually claimed in the expansion draft by Vancouver, and then she gets traded back to the Frost, right, as a depth player, but she went from one place to another, didn't play a game for Vancouver, but comes back, and now she's being shipped off. I think this is like, it almost feels like something the Frost, like almost like I don't know, like a thank you, like sending her to a team that will give her the ice time, give her more ice time as well. So I think that's an added bonus. They obviously wanted her on her team. She won a Walter Cup those 2 years, right? So I like the trade for both teams, and honestly, I think the Sirens have a higher chance of coming out as a winner, but the Frost are they're a much better team, so most likely if they win the Walter Cup, nobody will care, right? And it's a depth move, so yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I think it's going to come down to see who wins the trade in the playoffs. See what happens.
Sure, yeah.
Obviously, doesn't mean to make a big impact, but if she can play a couple of games, be consistent, and the Frost go on a good run, I can't see why the Frost look back on this trade disappointed.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, one trade's a little
pretty boring. Man.
Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, it's pretty crummy, and I think we'll see. We'll see what they do. We'll see how many teams get added, but obviously, when there's only 8 teams, there's not going to be much movement. And when you can't move draft picks, which that's going to be coming soon, they'll be able to move draft picks earlier. The trade deadlines will be more interesting. And once no team's really a bottom feeder. Even you could even say Seattle is, but the way it's set out right now, 3 wins and they're back in the hunt, right?
Yeah, true.
And I mean, there's only 6 games left for every team. Maybe a couple teams have 7, but like right now, there's no bottom feeders that are going to give up pieces, and not many teams want to trade for pieces because they might lose in the expansion, so there's no point. So it makes sense. Like it makes sense if one of those top 3 teams in the Frost, Victoire, or Fleet trade from Seattle, but still they can't give up the draft pick. Like there's no futures, there's no draft picks. You don't want to take a piece off your roster already to add a better player, right? So it's crummy. We'll see. Hopefully they can open it up. Obviously there was a Jesse Eldridge trade 2 weeks ago, and then there was that big 6-player trade like in November, like early in the season. So yeah. I'm sure it'll open up.
It's hard in a new league, man, where nothing is promised and assets can kind of shimmer away in a snap of a finger. More background on Rose. She was part of the Ottawa Charge last year and played 1 game in the Walter Cup run. She has represented Team USA internationally in the 2022 Olympic Games, so has, experience playing on an international stage, which is the best stage in all of women's hockey. Winning a silver medal, and she won a silver medal in all 3 of her competitions. She also participated in the 2021 and 2022 Women's PWHL World Championships, and she has, in 73 games, 25 points.
There you go. Yeah. Depth move. I mean, there's not much to talk about. I'm sure if there's bigger moves, we wouldn't have spent the past 15 minutes on this trade. But yeah, crummy deadline. I'm okay with both teams doing what they did. I like it for both teams. It makes sense. It's a decent hockey trade, and both teams get better, I think. So sure, why not?
Yeah, and I mean, really, like New York. They get a player that's going to help their lineup. Are they going to make the playoffs? Probably not. I think Minnesota.
Close,
I think it was more Minnesota. It was definitely Minnesota reaching out, wanting to improve their roster.
Yeah,
and their opportunities in the playoffs. So we'll see how that impacts them for the Sirens. We'll see how Kristova kind of.
We'll see how many games
get implicated to the lineup.
We'll see how many games Jancy Rose plays. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Okay,
we'll see.
So.
Actually, I have one question.
Yeah, what's up?
Unless you're going to move to junior.
I was going to move to. I think we really encapsulated.
There's not much. There's not much going on. There's 1 round of games on Sunday. We're recording before the round of games on Wednesday. There's 3 games on Wednesday, so we don't know what happened there. But I believe the Frost or the Victoire can clinch on Wednesday. I think Victoire can if they win and Toronto loses. The Fleet clinched, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Yep, I see that now.
So one thing. So if obviously it's close and the Fleet might not get it, but we're gonna play a game here. If the Boston Fleet come out on top and are the best team coming out of the regular season, who are you taking? Are you taking Toronto, Ottawa, Minnesota, or Montreal? Obviously, Toronto and Ottawa are the last. They're kind of fighting for the last spot. But which team would you kind of want to? Would you take? Is it Ottawa went to play in the first round? Ottawa went to the Walter Cup last year. Mm-hmm. They didn't lose as many pieces as other teams did, and they're a decent team. They got Emily Clark, Brianne Jenner. Go down the list. They got Gwyneth Phillips. They got a good goalie. So it's questionable. Obviously, I think any team would probably take Toronto, but I think Toronto's probably the weakest.
I think it is Toronto too.
So
Mind you, they've had some big wins this year. They had a win against the Boston Fleet where they shut them out 2-0. But other than that, they've kept games close. It really is tough. And I think, honestly, the conversation is going to come to either Ottawa or Toronto. I think Montreal and Minnesota, obviously we just talked about back-to-back Walter Cup champions, can't knock that off of them. They're going to bring a playoff pedigree pace. And for the Minnesota Frost, we also, for the Boston Fleet, who's the other team? Montreal. Montreal just came off, obviously, Mary-Philip Poulin, coming off last year, winning the regular season. This is a team that's hungry. And Renee Desbiens coming off a potential MVP season. I think that's also a tough team. So I wouldn't want to face, obviously, Minnesota or Montreal. Comes down to the other two. And they're only 2 points separated in the playoffs. But Ottawa, you mentioned it, similar roster to last season. Gwyneth Phillips wins the Walter Cup MVP.
Yeah.
Despite being on the losing team. Brianne Jenner is having a fantastic season. It'd probably be Toronto, but there's so many aspects there. Renata Fast can always pop off. And then you got Daryl Watts, who is just an offensive juggernaut.
It's going to come down to I think it's going to come down to one of those two teams, Ottawa or Toronto, whatever team squeaks in. But the team that squeaks in, you got a little bit of morale, you got a little bit of momentum making it in.
Yeah.
And so you look at also I don't really agree with this narrative, but there's the narrative of Minnesota and Montreal. Obviously, they're playing meaningful games down the stretch, but they're already in. It's not the end of the world. Where every game for Ottawa and Toronto coming down the stretch is going to be kind of a win, or it's going to be harder next time around.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So that could give them an edge heading into the playoffs as well. But I think I'd go that way first.
Wednesday, this game would already be done when where this podcast is uploaded. Toronto, Ottawa.
That's a big game.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Calgary, actually.
In Calgary. If they say 9:30, it's a little interesting. We'll have to tune into that one because that's going to be a goodie.
Saddledome, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, last one. So
sure.
I think if Boston doesn't make it and Minnesota makes it, what was I going to say? If you're the 2 or the 3, what team would you rather face? If you're say Boston comes second, would you rather face Montreal or would you rather face Minnesota?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Montreal.
Yeah, I'd go. Yeah, I think if you're Boston, if we're playing the game, if we're part of the Boston Fleet, you would rather Minnesota win out than Montreal to win out. I think.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota's the best team.
I agree. I have them winning the 3 consecutive Walter Cup championships.
And the thing is that Minnesota, they had strong teams the past 2 years, but you don't the last 2 years. You don't really look at them as the best roster on paper, whereas this year they do, which is very scary. They're very strong, very scary.
Maybe a question is their goaltending.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's the only thing that they don't really have, but they figured it out the past 2 years, right? They're running a tandem this year.
Yeah. The other two teams do. They have beasts.
Exactly.
The two potential MVPs.
But who is Minnesota's goalies the past 2 years?
Oh gosh.
Right. So how much of a factor does it really mean in the end?
True.
And they're already this far away.
I understand. That's why I have them as my Walter Cup champions.
Yeah, it's all hypothetical. But it's very interesting. Very interesting.
But to the question, Montreal. Yeah. I would rather play them. Although, Mary-Philip Poulin, God love her.
Same.
We say her name over and over again because she deserves it. And Anne-Renee Desbiens, because she's on a potential MVP season.
Yeah.
Phenomenal for the Victoire. And we all know once come playoff time, in hockey in general, sometimes all it takes is goaltender to get hot to find yourself in a championship scenario. So
For sure. All right, so where do we want to go now? Do you want to go CHL, NCAA, or NHL?
let's end with the NHL. Let's go to the CHL.
Okay.
Caleb, playoffs are underway. France are down 3-0.
Yeah, it was a
We'll
tough
start with
game
that.
to watch. It's tough. We didn't really, I mean, my eyes weren't 100% locked in that game tonight. It was
you
definitely
weren't.
the Sens game beat up in the Habs Lightning.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man.
Brutal.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean, the first game was a little lopsided. Obviously, Ottawa led early, or Ottawa really pulled ahead in the middle of that game. And then the second game, it was tighter. And then this one, 1-0 all the way through until the end there.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate. I mean, if Malik McGowan scored that one
Off the post. That was
off the
never
crossbar,
Yeah.
that would be a different
Maybe.
story.
I don't
but
know. I just felt
Ottawa's got a much better team. Though.
absolutely.
It's clear.
It's always like this too in the OHL. I'll just say the CHL in general, especially come playoff time in the first round when you're not the 4 and the 5 seed, which we'll get to some of those playoff series because they are looking very good. But it's just honestly, once the upper seed gets a few games, the narrative is completely gone, and it's just chasing. It's just the other team chasing to hopefully maybe squeak out one game. But the first round of the OHL playoffs are for the most part always lopsided.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and also Kingston obviously traded away a lot of decent players.
Yeah,
right?
like this is this is a
Tagla
progressive
is the
year,
player of the week, and they traded away from him. Right, like there's a lot of these pieces that they could have had around, but clearly they weren't good enough to compete with the top teams. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Ottawa's a good team, and you can just see it. Their top 9 just completely demolishes our top 9. So it's not even.
Yeah.
This game was at least somewhat interesting. A lot of most of these games are scrums, like it's junior hockey. There's going to be a lot of scrums, no fights really. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but there's always next year. We got hopefully Nolan Snyder, Robin Kuzma.
It's not over yet.
Line.
It is not over yet, my friend. Game 4 on Thursday. The start of the turnaround for the Kingston Frontex.
You'll be in attendance.
Maybe. Let's get to a bit of more of an interesting series. Owen Sound versus Flint, Caleb. Is this the most lopsided playoff series you have ever watched?
Most lopsided playoff series for sure. Like this is, what is it? 27-2 is the goal differential right now.
Yes.
That's it's insane, dude. It's insane. And you know the funny thing is we just talked about the 67s and the Fronts. That's a 3-6 matchup. This is a 3-6 matchup. The Flint aren't even in the top in the West, Owen Sound is not the worst team in the West. They're the 6th seed. There's 4 teams technically worse than them in their conference. Granted, it's a little bit inflated because Owen Sound had Carter George, who was a force at the start of the year, and they started decent. They started really well.
They started very well.
They were in the CHL top 10 for a while.
I know.
So obviously they trade away from some of their pieces. A couple of them commit to college next year, and they just blow it up. They say screw it, but obviously the record at the start of the year really helped them stay at somewhat of a potential, stay in a decent playoff spot. And then they match up with Flint, who got much better at the deadline, and they just pumped them, dude.
This team is so good, Caleb.
It's not even fair.
And I said, don't sleep on the Flint Firebirds, man. Listen, Nathan Aspinall, he led OHL scoring for the longest time. Deadline deals of Jacob Tagla, who we know very well. Kevin He was a big addition from the Ice Dogs. Jimmy Lombardi's having a great year. Chris Thibodeau, France legend, is their overager. He's a great player. Alex Kostov is fantastic. This team is scary, man. And I'm telling you, hey, Mason Fakari, France legend. As France fans, this is the team we should be rooting for. I'm not going to lie.
I can't.
Okay, I know. But, man, all I'm saying, this is insane, bro. This series, Game 4. Okay, Game 4 in Owen Sound. What does Coach tell you before the game, and what is the final score of it?
Oh, final score of it. I don't know. Like, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a bounce back. I'll say like 6-1. But I don't know what the coach says. I wonder who they put in net. Obviously, they just called up a kid on Monday. I called up a guy, and you know what? The series will be over by the time this comes out because they play on Wednesday.
Nice.
They called up a goalie, and he plays because they get blown out. And he comes in and backs up. He only gives up 3 goals. I wonder what do? Do you just throw everything at the fan and just throw out this kid? Is he 16 years old?
It's kind of hard to put him out to dry. Honestly, I'd go back to whoever you're going to bring back next year.
Well, he might be back next year.
I mean, again, he probably would be back next year. But if you have a guy, and I don't know the Owen Sound goalies off the top of my head. Sorry, I haven't watched the attack a lot this season.
No.
But if you have a guy that's going to come back next year, and I understand like his team has left him out to dry for 3 straight games, but you're in the playoffs. This is valuable experience, and you know what? This Owen Sound team might not even make the playoffs next year. So you got to take what you can get. So
no, I don't think they'll make it given this.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry, in the season, they played 4 times. Flint wins the first one back on October 23rd, 6-2, and then Flint wins again, also 6-2, and then they win 6-3, and then on March 18th, Caleb, March 18th, this is 2 weeks ago, 4-3 Owen Sound.
Wow.
Last game before the playoffs, 4-3 Owen Sound. Okay. This is with all the post-trade deadline accusations as well.
Wow. That's very interesting. One other thing I did look at, I just was curious looking across all 3 of the leagues, just looking at the 1 and 8 seeds. These are before the Tuesday games. I know a lot of them just wrapped up, and actually London Sioux are in double overtime as we speak. We should be locked in on that, but we are recording, or they're heading into it. It's 4th intermission or whatever. But I looked at the 1 and 8 seeds, and you look at Brantford and you look at Kitchener. Like, they beat the 8 seed 6-2, 4-2, and Kitchener beat the 8 seed 6-4 and 4-0. These aren't blowouts. And then you look at the WHL, which it's a bigger gap. I think the one, like, Everett and Prince Albert are way, like, Everett and Prince Albert are borderline pushing Brantford. Like, they're up there with Brantford. And, okay, Everett beat Portland 8-1, and then it was 4-1. Prince Albert beats Red Deer 4-1 and 6-0. This isn't 11-1. This isn't 10-0. They probably dominated play, but they didn't score that much. Like, they didn't score the same amount. And then, obviously, you go to Moncton. Like, dude, the Q is the closest level of play.
As it is.
It should, well, yeah. And, it should be higher scoring, too. But you look at Moncton, who has got Caleb Desnoyers, and they were the first team they're the best team in the regular season, only by 1 point. They go to OT with St. John's, 3-2, and then they win 5-1. Chicoutimi, who is the second best team, they beat up 8-1, and then they 2-1 is their next game. I haven't looked at their game threes, but I'm pretty sure they just played those today. But very very interesting. It's weird because it's a 3 and 6 seed game or matchup. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the 67s in France, like, it's just so wild that a 3 and 6, like, you don't see that.
True.
I'd understand it if it's an 8 and 1. Mm-hmm. But I think it's mind-boggling to me that Owen Sound, there's 2 teams worse than them in the playoffs, and then there's 2 teams that missed out of the playoffs, and these guys are getting pumped. It's just crazy to think. It's crazy to think.
The Barrie Colts get back their stud on defense, Keishon Aitchison, and they won 5-2 tonight.
There you go.
And I believe that series is now 2-1 for Barrie, as Niagara did steal a game on the road.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
I mean, interesting, but hey, Keishon Aitchison, I think I learned today, missed the end, was not able to play in the first 2 games of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because he reached over his limit of amount of fights he had in the regular season.
It's odd.
Is that rock star or is that diva?
That's definitely rock star in my opinion. This guy's a great. It's tough because he's the best player in their D-core, second best player on their team.
He misses 2 playoff games.
Barry's a good team though.
But they
I think
lost one of them.
I know, but I think it's
At
they're not
home.
gonna lose.
At
man.
home.
They're not gonna lose though. And now he's back. So sure, if you lose in game 7, maybe you could look at that because you lost that one game in the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's pretty rock star. I mean, let the guy go. I'm assuming he's gonna go to the NHL next year, AHL possibly. How old is he? He'll be 20, so he'll be eligible for that. So I think it's okay. Whatever. Whatever. I'm sure he's aware. The teams are aware. Barry Colt's got to be aware of that too. They knew that coming into the thing. But that's a great punishment, though. I didn't really know that was a thing. Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. Brantford goes to overtime today.
Yeah.
Against Sudbury.
I know.
6-5 against the Wolves at home. Sudbury pushes it to overtime. Caleb Malhotra, draft eligible, 5 points.
Yeah, I know. He had a great first 2 games.
Wow.
5 points in this game?
Yes.
So he's up to 8
or
9. That's pretty good.
I think, I'm pretty sure this is
he
this
had
game.
he had a good first 2 games as well, and he's just driving his line, dude. He's not even on the Brian Van Acker line. He's on his own line and just driving it, and it's pretty insane to watch.
Okay, fun fact.
Yeah.
Brantford scored 6 goals tonight.
Yeah.
5 of them were on the power play.
Well, there you go. Well, it's a lethal power play. So
All of Sudbury's goals were 5-on-5. Wow, man, 5-on-5 goals when they're 5-1. That is deflating. You still lose. You gotta figure out. You can't go in the box against this Brantford team, man.
that's
Merrick Van Acker had 2. Malhotra had 2. Both of those 4 on the power play, and Adam Juracek had 2 as well.
There you go.
So 3 goal scorers. Everyone gets 2.
Let's go. This is a lot more OHL. Hands up. We can't watch the WHL, so we haven't really tuned much into it. I do want to touch on the London Sioux, obviously the
Big series, yes.
Chase Reed incident, and then obviously it's in overtime. I'd love to talk about, but we're not watching that one. Is there any Q or WHL teams you want to talk to before we jump back to OHL?
No, not off the top of my head, no.
I think it's hard to watch the Q because there's so much else going on. I'd rather watch OHL right now.
And you know
tough.
what? It's the WHL always starts too late in the night.
We can't watch it either.
I go to bed early, so I
you don't.
unfortunately can't stay up and watch the WHL.
So the
Just can't make it up that late.
the 10 o'clock slots that some of them, obviously it's 9 or 10 out there. We're up to watch the 1 a.m. slots. You know that if there was an island between Canada and Russia that starts their games at 1 a.m., we'd be watching those.
Oh yeah, I wish there kind of was, man.
But we can't watch the WHL. It's on Victory Plus, so we can't even.
I can watch the WHL.
Yeah, illegally. I don't.
No,
I don't bother.
It's not
watching
illegal,
legally.
actually. It's just on a website.
That's
all.
Yeah, with an ad blocker, make sure, and a VPN's on as well.
Yeah, I actually started using an ad blocker. It works great.
Our boy Ethan McKenzie has 1 goal and 3 points though. So
yeah, that's awesome.
it's my only WHL
The Oil Kings
thing.
won today, yeah? 3-2?
Oh, so then maybe you added it. That was before. I did all my notes before.
Might not have been today, but I think the most recent
they're
win
still
was.
playing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
They
1-1.
going to the third period, 3-2 over Saskatoon.
Did he score?
I'll check for you right now.
I know the series is 1-1.
Check for you right now. David Lewandowski opened the scoring for Saskatoon. Obviously, World Juniors legend. And Ethan McKenzie is not on the scores sheet yet. So.
Actually, one thing about Q. So they do a lot of back-to-backs because the travel's insane out there.
Crazy.
One goalie had back-to-back shutouts, played all 60 minutes of both games. Sam Malash. I think they lost tonight, but he's on Rouen Norada, the Huskies. I don't know if I pronounce that right, but it's a French team. I just found that pretty shocking. You have 2 shutouts. You face close to 60 shots. 2 shutouts. Good for him.
insane.
Back-to-back games, too.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, good for him.
All right, let's go back to the OHL to round
Yeah.
out this CHL conversation. And Chase Reed, man, he gets in a bit of trouble because during a game against the London Knights, he finds himself in the penalty box, Calvin. What does he do? He puts his stick over top of the camera in the penalty box and starts fiddling with it.
Bro, no,
Thoughts on that?
Who cares?
You do.
I think it's funny.
You care. You
No, I
wrote this
don't.
down as a
Yeah,
talking point.
I know. I just wanted to. I put it down as a talking point because I wanted to say it's stupid. Like, I know he's 18 years old and he's gonna, dude, if he breaks a camera screw, he can pay for it. Obviously, Sue actually got fined.
Man, it's respect.
The Sioux got fined $2,500. They're up 2-0. You see him at the glass after the game. Well, hopefully they'll be up 3-0 after another OT win. You see him at the glass after the game after they win the second game in OT at the London fans. Let the guy live his life, man. And you know what? I've been saying it as we segue into the game, unless you have a thought. This Sioux team's really good. They've got a
very good.
They've got one of the best defenders. They have one of the best forwards in Brady Martin, and they got Carter George, best Canadian goalie at this age.
Sometimes what they do say is if you have a number one center, number one defenseman, you can go far in a playoff race. And you know what? Having a number one goaltender in the entire league also makes that conversation even better. So this Sioux team, as we talked about in our preview show for the CHL, super underrated. I think we expected them both to be higher. Like, it's kind of weird to think that they were the lower seed under London, who we expected to have a bit of a fall off or more of a fall off than what actually transpired. But the Sioux have won back-to-back games. And as you mentioned, time of recording in overtime right now. In second overtime, but they're at home. They won back-to-back games at Canada Life Place in London.
I know. Yeah, that's
insane.
The craziest thing. That's the craziest thing. And you know what? Like, London lost some pieces, but they're still not a bad team. They got, like, obviously Brady Wasslin, who they got from the Ice Dogs, is hurt.
They traded away Sam O'Reilly.
Yeah, and Jared Woolley. And they lost a good chunk of pieces. Easton Cowan's not around. Sam Dickinson's not around. Denver Barkey's not around. Right? You lose all those pieces. You still have Jackson Cover. You still have Henry Brustevich. You still have a good, decent team, right? And it's London. You're going to have some decent overagers and all that. And, man, that's like I said it's going to be the best series. And so far, we'll see. It's double overtime. It was an overtime for game 2. Sioux take that one. And then Sioux, I think, is 4-1 on the first game. It's a good series, man. 2 overtimes. The Peterborough North Bay series. Peterborough's up 2-1. There's 2 OTs in there. Goalie takes the 5-minute game misconduct, leaves the game in overtime, and they give up a goal immediately. That's a tough look, but man.
Yeah, this is definitely tough.
This is definitely the best. Like, I think this has got the best display of just, you've got a team who's got some good players that will be very good in the NHL one day versus a team in the London Knights who have got a great barn, you've got a decent amount of overagers. They've got the money. They've got basically everything. They got the coach, exactly. Yeah, they got the coach. And
got the narrative.
We'll see. We'll see. It's in second overtime. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping London can pull it out. And I think seeing a couple more games of Brady Martin would be fun. But I think, obviously, I do want London
Brady Martin in the second round.
True. It's true. But I think, it's true. I think the Sioux could honestly, I'm assuming they'll win the second round matchup, but I think they could walk the West. You got Carter, and then look, Carter George, he's a goalie, man. He could frickin' just, he could shut down Brantford, right?
Yeah, he wins you series. Well, they wouldn't face Brantford until
the final. That's what I'm saying. You walk the West. Walk the West and play Brantford in the final.
Windsor, Kitchener. I don't think they're
They play Windsor.
I don't think they're
no, they play Kitchener next. Oh, that's another good series.
It's a very good series. Well,
and you know what? Brady Martin is from that area too.
Yeah, once you start getting to those second round, third round matchups, they're all really good. They're all pretty good.
Yeah.
You start getting, there's obviously a separate, 16 of the 20 teams make it in the OHL. Yeah. You're obviously going to have quite the separation.
Yeah, you got to whittle out
But the bad teams, the teams that are also having progressive years and obviously not so-and-so rebuild years are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to have EG matchups, but once you get later, it gets really spicy in the OHL. So
For sure. Yeah, you got to whittle out some of the crummy teams and then work your way from there, right? So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll see if it ends or not by the time we're done recording. But very interesting. Sioux is out shooting them 44-30. So we are 1 minute into the second overtime.
Damn. All right, Caleb, let's move on to the NCAA, and that is going to the Frozen Four. Talk about the Frozen Four, same time, Final Four in the NCAA men's basketball bracket. But I have a feeling you're going to be locked into them Frozen Four. So will I. I'm going to be dabbling in both, obviously. But exciting times for men's hockey. And there's also another big question. Some news popped up. And I think you were the one that brought this to my attention. So I'd like to know your background and give some context for the audience. But Mr. Gavin Mckenna, who is eliminated from the NCAA tournament with Penn State, has the potential to go to the Men's World Championship this year, Caleb. That would be very exciting. I want to know where you got this from to start off with.
Well, it was Elliot Freeman that dropped it. Also, along with that, apparently the coaching staff will be finalized soon, either this week or next week. So that's something interesting. They just got to make sure there's some coaches that have involved or have expressed interest and they're still in a playoff hunt. So they kind of have to. They can't announce anything yet, which obviously makes sense, but they should have that locked in soon. But yeah, Gavin Mckenna apparently wants to, or Hockey Canada has interest in taking him, and it's pretty much lock at this point. I think they're really going to be pulling for players this year too. So it's going to be fun to watch. You're going to see Gavin Mckenna against men. I was doing some research, and I looked back at the last time that, obviously, because the big implication this year for the World Championships is that it's an Olympic year. Yeah.
So a lot of people who obviously went to the Olympics aren't probably going to go to the World Championship. But I looked back to 2014, the last time NHL players were allowed at the Olympics, and there was a man on the roster named Nathan McKinnon. At the age, obviously a bit of a difference.
He didn't make the team.
He was on the team.
He wasn't on the Olympic team, though.
No. But here's what I'm talking about. Kids who are young who went to the World Championship.
Well,
Nathan McKinnon was one of them.
Well, we're going to talk about it, too. Porter Martone also was the same situation.
Yeah, he was there last year. But I'm looking at Olympic years. Where there's spots on the roster and the team needs to pick somebody young.
Okay.
McKinnon got 4 points in 8 games.
Yeah. For Canada,
Listen, if this actually, I don't see why Team Canada wouldn't take him. I think Gavin McKenna would be a perfect power play piece, whether it's 1 or 2. 5-on-5 is the other question.
Well, that's what's going to be the most exciting thing to see is can he keep up with 5-on-5? Exactly. That's
not
what
NHL caliber, but pro hockey caliber teams.
Well, it's going to be
playing against
Olympic caliber teams. Like those European teams they're going to be a force still.
True.
Those like Czechia, Switzerland, those teams always. Well, it's going to be the same guys, except they might be missing a couple NHLers.
Okay.
But Olympic caliber teams that obviously they're not going to be as strong, but they're all decent players from all these countries, and. Sure, some of them will never be NHLers, never were NHLers, but it's going to be against older, faster, stronger, bigger men. It's going to be very exciting. Whereas right now he's playing the oldest you can be in the NCAA is 24, 25. So, but a lot of them are younger. And obviously in the Big Ten, there's a lot more younger guys that have skill. They bring in skilled players that will be NHLers one day, right? So it's going to be exciting. I'm very excited what he'll do. It's pretty much a lock, it sounds like. He's not injured. He's physically able. He's only, like, the NCAA's 32 to 37 games or whatever. He's totally fine. Playing twice a week. He's going to be able to do it. And that's the thing is, what is he going to look like 5-on-5? And you know what? He's going to have, they're going to throw him in the top 6. They're going to throw him with a decent center. It's going to be, I say that the roster's going to be weak. Still, they're going to have decent players. Don't look for top-line players. Look for third-line centers that will show up and play.
I think we could also see a bit of a resurgence of young guys go to this World Championship as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking for an opportunity to present themselves to the national team because that high-end talent of the guys who are in their peak ages right now are not going. And back to the point of looking at the 2014 roster, it was a very young team.
Yeah.
It was a younger team. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity here for these younger guys to go.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I was watching today, actually? I did have the roster up earlier. I watched the 2015 World Championships. A year after the Olympics. It's like the most stacked roster. We're talking about the 20, what's this year? 2025. So 2020, 2025, that roster, you're saying that roster is stacked? Dude, this Canada-Russian matchup was by far like the most stacked I've seen. I gotta find the roster, man. I can't believe I totally thought I linked it and I didn't. But it's unbelievable. But this year for sure, like I doubt any Olympic player. And this season also has been so clogged, and like the NHL schedule is so congested. You're not gonna see many players. So many players are injured. But you do look at like one kind of player you look at is if the Kraken don't make it, which they probably won't. Well, they could. They might squeak in wild card too. You look at like Berkeley Catton, who's not played every single game.
Yep.
And then you he's had. Even if the Flyers don't make it, you might look at Porter Martone.
I don't know why you would not. You'd have to look at him. I think so. He played last year. So.
You go to Zane Parekh as well, who hasn't had a full season. I don't know if that's what they'll do. But you look at some of those players like that, World Junior players that have played the past couple of years, and you look at those players like Michael Misa. I think he would benefit from it.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Like, I think a lot of these young players, like Michael Misa didn't play the whole year. He also was injured a little bit. So I think, obviously, I don't know. There could be something tweak. If there's one little tweak, one little minor injury, they're not going. But if there isn't, like, you look at those players that did not get a full NHL season, screw it. Throw them in and play 8 to 10 more games.
I also wonder, though, like, we just named a bunch of young guys, but they can only take so many. Because
we named 5.
True. But of course, those are the big young guys. Those are guys who are prominent roles in the World Juniors teams the last couple of years.
Sure.
We can go down the list of many more, obviously. But I wonder how many.
Yeah, we named 5. Like, I think they'll still round out the roster of most depth NHLers.
I just wonder how many actually go.
That's what I'm excited for.
Listen, the thing is, obviously, we're saying it's an Olympic year. We're going to see a down raise in how many NHL caliber players actually go. But obviously, there's a lot of depth in Canadian NHL players.
Well,
and
that's what I'm excited for. Is that we're not going to see prominent NHLers, which I'm excited for. You see in the World Championship, these guys boost some of their value and just get better. So go ahead.
Maybe another talking point. Do you think the fact that Canada lost and didn't win gold could potentially push some people to the World Championships this year?
Well, I was going to spin zone that a little bit and say next year. I think next year for sure there's going to be a big pull just because, like, looking at these 2015 rosters as well. I don't think it'll be this year. I just don't think I don't think any Olympian will. Like, I really just don't think they will. I mean, I could be wrong. Like,
no one knows, to be honest.
You never know. And there might be crazy stories like, dude, James Reimer might be there. Like, there's going to be some wild, like, Marc-Andre Fleury was there last year. He was already retired. Like, there's going to be some wild, cool, feel-good stories that are going to pull eyes as well. And you just be ready for that.
Yeah,
it might not just be Canada.
It's going to go down to a player-per-player basis. Some people obviously took the loss a lot harder than others.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Maybe, patriotism plays a factor here if people really want to get some revenge on Team USA potentially here.
Well, the other thing also is how many players on that on that Olympic team are not in the playoffs. I can think of Parayko and Bennington right off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. There's no prominent player in the top 6. Sam Reinhart, but he's not going to do it. He's played two long playoff runs. Mm-hmm. Who's next? Crosby's going to make it. We wouldn't do it anyways, but, like, you know what I mean? There's barely anybody as well.
Yeah, true. So. And if you go to honestly, with how, crazy this year has been, and you had the Olympics, and Olympia who makes the playoffs is going to go. It's way too much hockey to force your body to play an extra week or two.
Sure.
But it's going to be interesting to see. As you mentioned, I like the name. Maybe see like a James Reimer or something like that pop out to the World Championship. Maybe some names that you'd are like. I don't think it's good to see the level of what we expect for a Spengler Cup. See some very crazy names there.
Oh, no, yeah, it won't be the same. No. Like, the Spengler Cup is just a
some middle Sixers, though. We could see some middle Sixers pop out for Team Canada,
that's what I'm
for sure.
excited for. I think the coolest thing about the World Championships, especially this year, because it's, like we said, there's not going to be many names, we're going to see these third liners who have the skill and the talent that we just haven't seen ever. Their ice time's going to be elevated. We're going to see guys on the power play that do not play power play on their NHL team. and
for sure.
that's the coolest thing. And we're gonna see some of these guys completely pop off. You think of, this is Flames bias. You think of Andrew Mangiapane. You think of Mackenzie Weegar. You think of players like that who never ever had the same, like you've never seen them perform like that. And then you look at Andrew Mangiapane the next year, he goes out and dices up 35 goals, throws up 35 goal season, right?
That's
you look at even like
cases on that, to be honest.
Yeah, and you look at a guy like the past couple of years. I know he's a big guy on the Sabres, but the offense didn't revolve around Tage Thompson all the time. It was more of a Dowling, especially on the power play. It was Dowling. Tage Thompson ran that power play for USA in that 2025 team.
Yeah, I just don't.
Right?
I don't know if that was the factor that pushed them to.
No, I'm not saying that's why they're there. I'm just saying it's fun to see some of these guys. They have the skill, and you've never ever seen it. Right?
True.
That's the thing.
I get what you mean. We knew how to Tage, but I think the Mangiapane opponent is a great point.
Well, I'm saying, the team revolved around Tage Thompson, where the Sabres have always been Rasmus Dahlin, right?
True.
Alex Tuck was running that team when he first got there. Where, I mean, Tage Thompson 1 year had 40 goals, but like he wasn't the main piece. There's always other pieces, and I know USA was a decent team last year, but
they were.
It's and that's the reason why he was on the Olympic team this year. Here's some names. Okay, so first of all, the coolest thing: Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin faced off in this Russia-Canada game.
Okay.
Both those players were there, which is crazy.
Okay.
Then you look at there's not as many crazy names on the Russian team. You got Vlad Tarasenko, you got Sergei Bobrovsky. It doesn't really count because Panarin wasn't in the league by then, but Artemi Panarin was on that team. He was unbelievable, and you keep going. Like there's not a crazy amount. Vadim Shipachyov, who is Golden Knights legend but never panned out, is on that team. But then you look at Canada. You have Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Aaron Ekblad, David Savard. Remember, this is 2015. David Savard.
Okay.
Tyler Ennis. You remember Tyler Ennis? Cody Eakin.
Of course I remember
Tyler Ennis scored one of those goals. Tyler Toffoli, who was young, who was great. Your boy Matt Duchene was on that team. Jason Spezza's on that team. Taylor Hall. Remember Taylor Hall was getting close. He's getting close to his MVP season. Jordan Eberle, Ryan O'Reilly, Tyler Seguin, Claude Giroux, Brent Burns.
Yeah, it's a nasty team.
Jake Muzzin, Tyson Barrie.
It's a lot of
Aaron Ekblad,
prominent players. That's a very good. That's
a
very good.
The
team.
weakest two players, and you know what? Pens fans don't take this the wrong way, but Dan Hamhuis is probably the weakest one, or Patrick Weirkoch.
Patrick Weirkoch, Sens legend, yeah.
So it's one of those two guys are the weakest. You had Braden Shen wasn't even dressed. He was young though at the time.
Yeah, shout out Braden Shen.
And then
he scored 1 second tonight.
The goalies were Mike Smith, Martin Jones.
Yeah, that's a good team.
It's just like it was Canada. It was 6-1. 6-1 your final.
Is that the championship game? Gold medal?
Yeah, 2015.
You know who won the year before? Russia.
It was Russia. Yeah, I know. Russia, and you know what? Canada won a perfect 10-0. Didn't lose in. Won every game in regulation. They went 10-0 in that tournament. The year before, Russia went 10-0. Did not lose. In regulation.
So you're telling me back in 2015 they didn't drop a random game to a random team?
Yeah. They didn't even win a game in OT.
Life must be nice, eh? Yeah. Life must be nice.
It's crazy. And one other very interesting thing that I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do it anymore. And I just thought it was a great touch. And you know what? IIHF doesn't have the money anymore. The winner of that team. Of the gold medal game was given, this is translated to Canadian currency, Canada got $1.3 million to go towards their youth hockey program.
Oh, really? I love that.
I don't understand. I don't think they do it anymore, but like that is something that they should do.
$1 million prize pool too. That is,
and they were saying it was Gord Miller and Ray Ferraro, third period, shout out. They're saying that's a big reason why some of these players went. Sidney Crosby's season ended. And
it gives you drive to go.
And the thing is that a lot of these players went, and then Sidney Crosby gets knocked out in round 1. 2 days later, he's there because he wants to play because it's a stacked team and just wants to play for his country. And they give him the C and everything. Like it's some crazy storylines. And I wish they did that. I don't think they do. There's no way. I haven't seen it. But
no.
Crazy thing also is that was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's gone on.
Yeah, that's insane.
I got some more NCAA notes if you want, unless you want to keep on the World Championships.
I just found something really interesting, but you can go.
I'm excited for the World Championships. That's Sioux won, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're up
3-0 Sioux. London on the brink of elimination.
Carson Andrew with his first goal of the game, or first goal of the series. Sorry. And Brady Martin did not get a point. Chase Reed did not get a point.
Sometimes it doesn't matter. That's just the depth of the team right there.
I know.
So
Shout out
Sioux.
Legit,
man.
Shout out Sioux. Good for them. Other NCAA notes. Actually, I do want to talk on the Porter Martone. I don't know if you saw some of the news and notes that came out when he went to the Flyers to Philly. So Porter Martone, obviously he signs. He played his first game. You said he was on power play 1. I didn't watch the game.
Got power play 1 minutes. Played on the second line with Travis Konechny.
Wow, that's a good get.
He got some minutes for sure.
There, okay, so he signs. Obviously, he plays against the Caps tonight. Some news that come out when they do a little chit chat with Danny Briere. The press talked to Danny Briere about the signing. Basically, he comes out, and you don't see this. Obviously, the big thing with NHL is every player loses weight during the season because they just can't keep up. They just can't keep up, and every player will lose weight. Whereas in the NCAA, Porter Martone gains weight and loses 3% body fat, which is an unbelievable feat for hockey. And then basically this is what Danny Briere says. He says college hockey rocks. And that just ended CHL. Like, it's just over. NCAA just completely took over just like that.
Because
of Porter Martone.
He gained 10 pounds.
Yeah, and lost 3% body fat. And Danny Briere says this is the best avenue for any player, any prospect that wants to make the NHL.
Do you think, I mean, just from what we know of this kid, great work ethic, leader, definitely just translates to having a great,
No, I think
great drive.
I think it's
this guy definitely eats clean, goes to the gym, never misses a workout.
Yeah, 100%. They play Friday, Saturday, and that's it.
Exactly.
They have a whole week of recovery, and then whole week. They got so much time to recover, and then they just hit back to the gym.
Well, to be fair, the OHL is kind of the same thing.
Not really.
CHL.
I don't think so.
Play probably 2 games a week. Maybe a midday game. Maybe a midweek
But you're
game.
also, especially in the WHL, you are bussing across the world.
True.
Whereas all these you have got a conference of like 10 teams, Jake.
Yeah, but
and they're bussing all.
But how tight is it?
Pretty tight, dude.
Yeah, is it?
Yes. Hockey East is all just Boston. There's no other. It's basically just Boston.
So you're telling me North Dakota?
Okay, out west it's a little different, but still.
It's like the WHL, the OHL's.
But the conferences are so much smaller.
If you get to the Western Conference, Southwest Conference with London and Kitchener and Brantford and all those teams in that little 150 kilometer
the NCAA
radius.
is much better hockey too, Jake.
Oh, we're not talking about the quality of hockey.
I'm just saying.
We're not talking about that. I completely agree with that.
If these players are going to gain weight and lose body fat, I'm not saying every player will, but a good chunk. Well, there's only a good chunk of NHL prospects. I'm pretty sure any NHL prospect, first rounder, will be doing pretty close to what Porter Martone did. They got to be doing the same stuff.
I think you'd be surprised. I
don't think so.
I think Porter Martone is just listen, we know this kid as a leader. We know this kid.
I know.
Does everything to a T perfectly because he's got the drive to make one day. And a lot of first round picks do have it, but some of them don't. It's just like they're kids. These guys are kids. We're kids.
Sure, but this guy completely broke. There's got to be a good chunk. Come on, you don't think Gavin McKenna's
a good chunk.
You don't think Gavin McKenna is in the gym six out of 7 days a week?
Gavin McKenna has been a generational talent.
But this is what every other player is going to be going for that, dude. Porter Martone wasn't. I guarantee you all these teams are putting out a plan for these NCAA teams just to push out for the one singular player, which they can do. And they've got money behind it too. They've got much more money behind it.
Listen,
it's an NCAA.
Listen, I of course I agree the NCAA is a better league. I just think maybe some of that stat is because Porter Martone is just a beast.
No, I don't think so.
It is.
I don't think so. And it's just, the better hockey is the biggest point. I buried the lead, but it's much better hockey.
Yeah, that's just facts. You don't need to stick that.
So every NHL team will be pushing for their prospects to go to NCAA. There's just no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, probably.
So the CHL is now welcome 16 and 17-year-olds. That's the CHL now.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, this is
Just completely buried the CHL.
We've known this.
No, we didn't know that. Some players disagreed about going to NCAA, and now they're just screwed.
Latter half of the year, we've known this.
No, we haven't.
As the
Come on,
season's
Jake.
gone
There's
on.
still a good.
As
Brady
the
Martin's
season-
still playing.
Yeah, Brady Martin's going to be in the NHL next year.
Yeah, that's not going to happen
That
in
was
5
also the
years
first.
from now.
This was also the first
CHL
season.
screwed.
First season after the transition. Of
know.
course, kids are going to stay in the CHL.
Yeah, and I'm saying the CHL thought there's still a way. There isn't now. Like it is completely 100%.
Okay.
My point is that they're 100% solidified. It's over. It's 16, 17-year-olds in 5 years from now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's over. So that was my point. CHL's done.
Okay, I agree. Well, okay, I agree.
The NHL buried them, and they buried themselves.
I was just on the trade, but the Porter Martone trade. He's just a beast.
No, that point.
Kid's just a beast.
Sure, whatever. He's a
Dude,
beast.
he's gonna.
But I guarantee you, a lot of
awesome.
first round picks are beasts as well.
Yeah, no. Some of them are just really skilled and are a little cocky. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay.
You get a decent sprinkle of those kids too. But obviously, if you're a first rounder, because obviously the potential's there, you got the skill wise, and of course you could teach things like discipline, and you can't teach skill.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when they're first rounders.
Yeah. So CHL's buried. One last thing about NCAA Frozen Four is this Thursday in Vegas. Wisconsin takes on North Dakota. I think this one's not as interesting to me. I think no offense. No Dak has got this.
No,
one.
Wisconsin has been able to beat down teams when they've been thought of the underdog.
I know that Michigan State game was awesome. I loved it. But
doing it again.
Can they do it twice? That's what we're at right now. And we're going to find out. But I think
they can.
North Dakota is far and away the more talented team. Way older, too, by the way. Wisconsin's younger. And then, which I'm also biased because we got a decent amount of, like, there's Keaton Verhoff, first of all, who could be a flame. And then you got Cole Rashny, Abram Weeb, a couple other players. It's going to be awesome. And then the big one, the one I'm more excited about is Michigan versus Denver. You've got Denver known to just the best structured team, best coach, versus Michigan. Michael Hage was injured. It sounds like he's going to be 100% come this weekend. Mm-hmm. They've got a decent team. Michigan is the 1 seed.
They're very talented. Very skilled.
And yeah, they're the 1 seed, and it's going to be very interesting what Denver can do, right?
Outstructure them, man.
Yeah,
Shut down the skill guys, clogging the lanes. Just playing. That's what's going to come down. It's skill versus structure.
Yeah. So Denver, also one thing. Denver beat up Cornell. Cornell is the best Ivy League school. They beat up 5-0 on them, and then they play Western Michigan, who won last year. Mm-hmm. They beat them up 6-2. Mm-hmm. Like that's the most dominant team out of any team so far. In the 16.
Haven't played a team like Michigan yet. It's got a lot of.
Sure, I know. Well, Western Michigan.
No, don't get me wrong. Western Michigan
is great.
Great
they
team.
Won last year.
I understand that. Brand new year, first of all. Second of all, Michigan just looks like a whole new dog. You look at the roster head to toe. We watched the game to qualify for the Frozen Four.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
it's fast. The pace of hockey they play, but then again, against a structured team like who they're up against in Denver.
Yeah.
That's all it takes, right?
Yeah,
if you can handle the pace of play, shut things down, and create havoc in the offensive zone, that's all it's going to take. That's why the NCAA is great hockey. Question for you about Michael Hage. So you mentioned he 100% after the coming this weekend. My question to you about Michael Hage after the NCAA season is over, will he head up to Quebec for the Montreal Canadiens?
Is the question will he or should he?
Bit of both.
I haven't thought about this enough. I think he will be with the Habs next year. I just don't know if it's the fit right now. Like I don't know. Do they sign him? Because if they sign him, he burns a year of the ELC, and he's not going to even play. He's not even going to play 9 regular season games. It's going to be how many they got left? Like 6.
8 maybe.
8.
Yeah.
So he's going to play that. And sure, you can have him for the playoffs, but is he going to be that beneficial guy? Obviously, he says he's 100% heading into this weekend. Now, there's no way he is.
No.
So do you want to 80%, and it's his wrist. I'm pretty sure it's his wrist. Do you want an 80% Michael Hage over somebody who's been more experienced and has had 6 to 8 years in the NHL? I don't exactly know who's the Habs fourth line right now, because obviously you're bumping one of those guys out and you're throwing him in the top 9. I don't mind him playing with Philip Deneau on the third line though, so I just don't think so. What do you think?
I think I agree. I think there's a lot of good mojo going on for Montreal right now. They just moved 2 points back of top of the Atlantic Division.
Yeah.
And why? Like they said, we did it last year with Ivan Demidov, but
That's different.
Demidov brought
Demidov
a
is
bunch
way
of
better.
skill to that. First of all, Demidov brought a bunch of the skills to that
Yeah.
team, and he popped right into that power play 1. Michael Hage will not see power play 1. He may see power play 2 if he joins the team this year.
And mind you, the Habs are in a better position this year. They were
Yeah,
fighting for
absolutely,
wild
yeah.
card 2. Now they're in the third.
They
maybe
needed
even
last year.
second.
They needed Demidov's utilities and what he brought.
Yeah.
They do not need Hage's.
Yeah, they're a better
dynamic
team.
pace.
They're a bit. Well, even just this is that they are a better team this year,
Yeah.
and they just don't have as many spots. Granted, I think you could probably still push someone down, but I just don't know if that's what the move is. I don't think he's the Demidov. A lot of people, and how old's Demidov? Is he only 19 or is he 20?
Demidov 2024 draft.
So he's only 20. Okay. Well, I think Demidov, especially heading into when he got there and signed, a lot of people thought he was he's a game breaker. Like he thought, whereas Michael Hage is definitely projects to be, especially on the Habs, he'll be a second liner one day. Whereas Demidov could be this force that is playing on the first line, power play 1, pushing 18, 20 minutes a night as a 19-year-old. I don't think people see Michael Hage the same way.
No, well, people also do talk about though the lack of center depth that the Montreal Canadiens have.
Right,
but you're
yeah.
right. The Habs are.
Well,
the
I
Habs
don't
are
think he
playing
would play center though. I think he
Probably not right away, no.
I think Oliver Kapanen, like obviously you have Nick Suzuki 1, and then you have Oliver Kapanen and Philip Deneau as your next 2 centers. Kapanen scored 20 goals.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
Kapanen's
hard.
great. Yeah.
It's going to be hard to throw Kapanen on that third line
No.
and put Hage in there.
Do you put
Deneau.
Hage on the third line or?
Well, you're not moving Deneau
Hage
from
for-
center.
Yeah, no, you can't. He's too defensively good, but that's all he's good for.
Let me see. Let me pull up their lines. I could be completely missing someone
No,
else
that
as
sounds
well.
right. Sounds right. Kirby Doc?
Yeah, he's more of a winger these days, I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. Oh, it's Jake. Okay, Deneau's on the fourth line. Jake Evans is on the third line.
Jake Evans.
Well, if they want to deploy Deneau on
As
the
a
fourth
fourth liner,
liner, then
then-
maybe.
Opens up a slot there.
I do like Jake Evans too, though.
No. Clean answer, no. You do not
Jake
bring
Evans-
Michael.
yeah, no.
You don't bring Michael Hage up this year. Allow him to recoup his thoughts, get some rest. Obviously not 100%, although he states that he is.
Play at the World
With
Championships.
the rest, maybe potentially, and regroup and try to make the Habs potentially out of camp next year. So
Yeah, that's what everyone will be looking for. I guarantee you, he will not. I don't think he's going back to college.
no, he's
And,
gonna go pro.
and he's already done 2 years too.
He's going pro.
He's a decent sophomore year.
Yeah, no.
Whereas Porter Martone had an unbelievable rookie year, right? So it's a different.
I think Porter Martone's he's more projectable for the NHL too. He actually was third tonight in expected goals percentage for the Philadelphia Flyers.
It's awesome.
Despite his line mates, probably also getting good deployment in the offensive zone. So
Yeah, I don't even really.
good for Porter though.
Yeah, I don't even think Michael Hage would find power play time.
Not even on PP2.
Like, I take PB2, like just the way they're framed is they're a bigger kind of squad. You got Gallagher. Well, Gallagher's not super big, but he's feisty. He's going to be in front of the net. And then you have Kapanen, then you have Newhook and Bolduc. Bolduc will be in front of the net as well. Like, I don't know if you could take Newhook off. Sure.
But do you think the power play 2 could potentially be better if you just kind of switch the narrative and make an extra?
could, yeah.
Hage is a fantastic flank, right?
Sure. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you need Joe Valeno and Zach Bolduc on the team. Is Hage right-handed, though?
I could check for you.
He is right-handed, sorry.
Go.
So he'd play right wing. You got Anderson and Gallagher who are having decent seasons with given the time and ice and deployment they're using. So I don't see it. I don't think he will. They might do it. They quite honestly might do it.
I think Habs fans would love it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would love it too. But should they do it? I don't think so. It doesn't make sense in a business aspect, and it doesn't make sense for a team that's in a decent spot and could honestly push for second. I mean, they're pretty far out now, but I think they'll be fine. They're playing Tampa as well. That's going to be rough. And Tampa or Buffalo, that's going to be rough.
Oh, you say
tough.
second in the Atlantic? They're far out?
They're like 4 points back.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, but they just beat Tampa, though.
Yeah, I think that's
so
what
that
I was
helps.
saying.
So they're
I said,
probably only 2 back.
I just said that. I'm pretty sure
I'll pull it up.
they're 2 points back at Tampa and they're 4 points back at Buffalo.
I think that, yes, because Buffalo did, or they might be 6 now. Montreal is, 4, and they're 2 behind Tampa now. There you go. So, yeah, they're pushing. They've won 6 in a row. But, like I said, they were second wild card. Columbus missed by 2 points. Like, they needed to push for those last 2 games. They just limped over the edge, and they needed the experience. They got these players experience last year against the Capitals. I mean, they lost in 6, but it's what they needed last year, and get Demidov in there for sure. I think Demidov is bigger and played a men's game too, so out in Russia or wherever he was. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what Michael H can do this weekend, and we'll probably find out. Like, if they want him on the team, they're going to sign him Sunday. They're going to sign him Sunday or Monday.
Right after the game. Yeah, we've seen that with these other players.
The championship game is on Saturday, and given the way you've talked about them, they're making it. So
they are.
We'll find out Sunday or Monday. It's going to be big news.
I don't think I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I wouldn't be either.
No. We've heard this This has been rumbling for a while now, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. People have talked.
Well, to be honest, Montreal Canadiens media is always talking about anything and everything. So
yeah, sure,
very passionate.
Sure, it makes it out everywhere, right? So.
All right, let's move on to the NHL. Caleb, some big news drops. And when I found this information, I was sitting with my my Leafs friends at a Blue Jays game. The Jays were getting blown out, 14-5 final score, but the boys left with some happiness because Brad Treliving gets fired as general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yep. It's I don't know where we go from there, but I don't know. Not shocking. It's really bad. Like, this is a very low. This is a big low for the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. MLSE, Keith Pelley, all that. It's a big low. You let this guy run your trade deadline, and then you fire him 2 weeks later. I hope everyone understands how wild that is. And I understand, yeah, let's fire him whenever we need to, but like, you let the guy run the trade deadline, and the speculation's everywhere. Everybody's wondering, this guy's firing. What? I don't know, man. And I know right at the Olympic break, if they win 4 games coming out of the Olympic break, they're back in it. That was never going to happen.
They lost 7.
They should have just done it. They should have just done it right before the Olympic break. Then you have a whole 16 days to find a new GM and run the trade deadline.
It's a tight turnaround, though.
Well, they're going
to want to pick the right guy, too.
I know, but it's gonna be quick. Like, it's not gonna be 16 days, but even just have an interim, because Keith Pelley knows what he wants, right? Keith Pelley wants to retool, so you just get some guy in the organization who's been around Brad.
I'm sure I saw something today that the Leafs have 7 assistant GMs.
I don't know if that's true.
6, pardon me.
There's probably 7 like staff. Oh yeah, every like team's got that, but like, there's no really number 2.
It might be.
Like the only, like, there's not many number 2. There's probably 1 assistant GM, and that's it. But there's probably over a dozen guys in that room during trade deadline.
Yeah. No, well, that's normal in an organization. Brad taking over the trade deadline was a little odd. Although we did score the Leafs trade deadline the best out of everybody in Canada.
I think he did a great job. He did a great job.
Sure, and he does a good job, but he joins the organization. When did he join? 2023?
2024. They won. 2024. Yeah, they won the first year they got there.
So he joins at the peak of the assets.
The Sens last year, yeah.
Peak of the assets. What he acquired? He acquired Brennan Carlo. Scott Lawton, yes.
And
Dakota Joshua.
Sure. And then he got rid of Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
half of it was on him, half of it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the one who was
really
on. Who he was the. I don't know. He was the GM. He could have brought him back for a good price.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure Mitch Marner would have came back.
I don't know.
No.
For the right price?
Yeah, he's getting what, 12 mil in Vegas, 12 and a half. If they offered 14, he'd come back. Maybe. But it's on Bradshaw Living's
he didn't get it done.
resume. So
you know what I mean? You know what? See where they are now?
Yeah,
Bottom of the standings.
Exactly. And you know what? The one thing that did come out, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm pretty sure. I trust most of the insiders. I don't trust some of them, but given a couple of the insiders said, it sounds like it's pretty true. The insiders said it's not 100%. Obviously, Matthew Knies was shopped around. It sounded like there was a deal out there, and Keith Pelly was the one who nixed it.
Yeah.
Which, that's so bad. You let the guy come in and shop Matthew Knies. Which
dude, if he would that's like some villain type stuff right there. Like Brad knows he's on the way out, so let me shop off one of their only promising players of the future. Tough. Yeah.
Did you watch the Keith Pelly
I saw clips of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
Shout out Michael H. and Radim Murka.
Yeah.
Pulled that out of his back pocket. Yeah. Wasn't expecting the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres. That was
the only part I saw, yeah.
Yeah, and then he shouted out. Like he talked about AI and using data, and then he went to the Montreal Canadiens and Buffalo Sabres and said, these teams are great, and they have prospects like Radim Murka and Michael H. So shout out those guys.
Wow.
Shout out Radim Murka.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Should have been a St. Louis Blue, man.
Yeah, it could have been. But it's tough look. The pressure was really bad. I don't think he wants to retool, and they're going to hire somebody that's going to retool it, which is unfortunate for every Leafs fan because we all know that that's not going to work. And really, the best case scenario, and the other thing that I disagree with is people are saying, the common take is people are saying it's up to Austin Matthews. Well, sure, if he wants to leave, you completely have to tear to the studs, but you can't leave it to Austin Matthews. He's got 2 years after this season. He's not playing the rest of the season. You just gotta freaking everybody knows that you need to just tear it to the studs and just get him out. And listen, if Austin Matthews disagrees with the way you're going, well, screw him. He's on contract for 2 more years, and you trade him, or you trade him and get a gazillion more assets because you're rebuilding anyways. So I don't know, man. It's very tough. Okay. If he wants to stay a Leaf, he'll stay a Leaf.
Yeah.
And it's not up to him. It shouldn't be up to him.
That's a tall task.
But it's also, the thing is Keith Pelly is not a sports guy. Right? And they don't even have a president. They didn't even replace Brandon Shanahan. Right? So,
that's
crazy.
It's a very hard task for a new GM to come in to, the reins of your tenure, and the first initial thought process by the fans is if you're able to get the Austin Matthews extension done, or you just lose your most promising player in the last 2 decades for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Give me odds. What are the odds that Austin Matthews stays with the Leafs beyond the next 2 years?
I would say they're over 50%.
I would agree too, probably. But if this guy wants to go, he's out the door. He's out the door this offseason.
Yeah, absolutely.
If this team wants to rebuild, and you look at situations like the Vancouver Canucks, they made the playoffs 2 years ago. They missed last year. Quinn Hughes is out the door this year. Same with the New York Rangers. They make the playoffs. They don't the past year, and now Artemi Panarin's out the door.
Yep.
Big name guys like that. I know it's different Artemi Panarin's was a free agent. He wanted to re-sign, but he's out the door. They didn't make the playoffs. He's out the door.
Yep.
It's looking like this might be the exact same situation if that's what Matthews wants. Because look, it was Artemi Panarin wanted to stay there, but he only gave a couple options to be traded, which he's got a no trade. And the New York Rangers didn't want to do it. Where Quinn Hughes wanted to do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just trying to think of those two comparables. Like Artemi Panarin, obviously he's been shipped around a couple times in his career. Like obviously the sentimental value for Austin Matthews being a captain for Toronto for so long. Quinn Hughes, obviously a bit of a comparable because he was also the captain for a Canadian market in Vancouver.
Well,
but he
also,
wanted out.
Austin
the
Matthews
whole
got a
toxic...
girlfriend here too.
Okay, well, sure.
That's a narrative.
Yeah,
That's a narrative.
Sure, of course. Oh, yeah, that's an aspect. Absolutely. He's lived here since his adolescence, since he was 18 years old.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, he's connected to the city, man, and he understands it too.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're trying to hire a new GM, Cal, I'll ask you this. I know this is a very hard question. You just keep your explanation, nice and tidy. Do you go with someone who's more experienced, maybe someone who's worked in a Canadian market, or do you go with maybe a big swing like they did a couple years ago with Kyle Dubas, someone who wasn't really proven, but is ambitious to become a GM of a big team?
Okay. I think they should go that direction. Find somebody who hasn't really been around the NHL. But will they? No, they won't. It's gonna be somebody that's been around the NHL. Which is unfortunate. It's just like the coaching situation. John Cooper, Mike Sullivan, those guys are hired. That's the first team, and they're unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And now every single team just recycles coaches. It's stupid. So I think they should go find somebody new. There's a lot of smart people out there, I think, and you don't need to go and find somebody who's working somewhere else. Look at, or you find somebody that's working at an organization who needs to make that next step, and they're not going to get it with that organization. Yep. You look at like Eric Tulsky and the Carolina Hurricanes. Who was their GM before that? Anyways, their GM leaves, and then he's the one that's hired. Right, somebody in there who just needed the step, and there's it's interesting, but I think they should go find somebody just completely new.
Okay,
we'll see.
I saw a name floating around, Chris Pronger.
Nah, I don't know. He's a TV boy.
True, he does like
TV. I mean, we threw his name out for Canada GM. So I don't know. People are saying Doug Armstrong because he's leaving. That's just not
true. I was gonna bring him up. Yeah,
that's it. You shouldn't even start with Doug Armstrong. You need to start from the studs and just start looking at random guys first before you go and find because everyone knows what Doug Armstrong's going to do, right? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the Leafs do. Yeah, and it's a tough situation.
They've tried a bit of everything. I think I agree with you. They've tried a bit of everything. They've tried the big names, tried the new names, and honestly, with the form the Leafs are in right now, I think it's time to try again with a new name. I really think it is. Well, I think you need to take a big swing on somebody who is ambitious, someone who wants to be a GM in a Canadian market, someone who's willing to take on that challenge, and someone who's smart. Somebody who's very smart.
Two things. Well, first of all, they're going to definitely, it sounds like they're hiring GM, president, op, and maybe more. Like they're doing a full-on revamp. They're going to hire more than one guy. And second, I was going to say something and I totally forgot what you were talking about. But
that's okay.
They're going to hire multiple people. It's not going to be one guy, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see.
Okay, last question. Yeah. By the Leafs. Keep it. This is another one. Keep it simple. We could have a whole conversation about this. Keep it simple. Craig Berube.
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay,
he's gone. Well, they said in the keep it simple. They said in the press conference, it's up to the new GM.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer. But
very good answer,
dude. He's out the door. Yeah, no GM's going to keep him around. That's all I'll say. You don't want another Sheldon Keefe situation with the Devils.
Yeah, especially if it's a new guy, like a guy that's trying to go a new direction with this team, or a guy that's bringing a new vision to the team that they haven't seen before. Craig Berube was gone. Okay,
he's gone.
Let's move on from that. Let's stay in the coaching topic though. Bruce Cassidy relieved of his jobs with 11 games to go with the Vegas Golden Knights, and who do they hire but John Tortorella? Back coaching behind a bench for Vegas. Caleb, Bruce Cassidy with 11 games left. I get the Vegas Golden Knights have had a shaky season. Many blame it on goaltending. But is this just too late of the season for a team that's on the brink or probably going to make the playoffs to have this big of a change of scenery?
It's tough. I don't think it is. I think it's valid. I understand why they did it because they probably were they going to win the cup? Honestly, there's a good chance. It's hockey, but you can now with Bruce Cassidy. Sorry, are they going to win the cup with Bruce Cassidy? Now you look at are they going to would a jolt and a new head coach help? He's an intern. He's only got 8 games on the contract and then the playoffs. and he's done. If they lose in the first round, who cares? It was worth a shot. They're probably going to lose in the first round anyways to the Oilers. Now you look at also Mark Stone's hurt, and then also you look at the goaltending situation. The thing with the goaltending situation is that won't help. I don't think anything will do it. I think the structure. He came out and said himself that he's not changing anything, which is fair. I think there's only a couple. There's only a couple things you could do. I think with time on ice. There's a couple things he could do.
Yeah.
The only thing that's been noticed in the one game he's done is that he flipped his centers, the first line center and the second line center, Jack Eichel and
Thomas Hertl?
Is it Thomas Hertl in this second line center right now? I don't know off the top of my head. Probably William Karlsson's still out, so I don't know. So it's probably Thomas Hertl. So there's that. And then the one thing I would have done, I would like to see is. Let's get Mitch Marner off the third line and let's pump this guy and play 25 minutes a night. He just cut it right, dude. He's behind Jack Eichel. Like he's averaging 19.5 minutes. Behind Jack Eichel, he is the next best overall well-rounded player on that team. And he's not playing. Elevate his time on ice. He's not elevate his role. He's not producing. He's not Mitch Marner. That's the next thing I do. So we'll see. We'll see what he does. Mitch Marner played 20 and a half minutes against or whoever it was the other day. So against Canucks actually, which that would have been really tough if they lost. But well, we'll see. What do you think? What's your thoughts?
Well,
here?
listen, you talk about needing a potential just jolt in the lineup. Like you need it's just a bad season for the Vegas Golden Knights, and obviously we know the future of the team maybe not so bright because players are aging. All these players other top players are in their prime right now, and they don't have a prospect pool at all, and the team has underperformed. Goaltending has been brutal. So who do you bring in? You bring in John Tortorella, a guy who's known for having personality, a guy who's very known for letting his team know when they're playing terribly. And he's an intern, so he just ends the season. Like, this is a guy that is going to dig into this team and try to squeeze out every inch of potential that the team has. He's obviously been a coach for a very long time in the NHL, easily 20 years. And something I was just reading this online. Obviously, he was the coach of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah.
Player on the Flyers, Carter Hart, who played very good in Philadelphia. Obviously, the whole situation, but
He's
maybe
still not back though.
I don't know. Maybe Tortorella can, part of
it sounds like he's gonna be back. That's what Kelly McCrimmon said the other day. It sounds like Carter will be back. They're running Aiden Hill. Like I don't see a world where I don't think in the right mind John Tortorella is running Carter Hart.
Yeah.
Unless there's a wild Akira Schmid's been good too. Akira Schmid's been better than Aiden Hill. Not great.
Aiden Hill,
but they're still running Aiden Hill
around an 870 save percentage.
I know, it's unbelievable. But they're gonna. I think the best goalie out of the three, given potential, is gonna be Aiden Hill, the guy who's done it before.
Yeah, in the game one, he's the game one starter.
Yeah, and the only situation Carter Hart finds a way is 3 games in, Aiden Hill is a stinker and just not been it. That's the only way. But at the point, that series is probably over.
Yeah.
So it's Aiden Hill. You run until you die. Let's see if he bounces back. We talk about goaltending being a big factor. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Because some goaltenders go on runs in the playoffs. Stuart Skinner, Jordan Binnington. Go down the list.
Aiden Hill?
Aiden Hill.
Potentially?
Yeah, Sergei Bobrovsky had the one cup. He had a crummy regular season, just popped off. Remember that?
So all it takes.
Exactly. Catch lightning in a bottle, and they're not the best goalies in the playoffs either, but they run it, man.
Okay, so. one more back to Brad Treliving. Anthony Stolarz, that was a pickup that he had too, no? Free agency?
Yeah, it was.
That's a good pickup too.
Yeah, sure.
It's a good pickup.
Yeah, he has a great resume at the Leafs. He did a great job. It's just unfortunate, man.
Do you think it was just because of the miss of Mitch Marner?
Yeah.
Is it a miss? That defines his career. Yeah. That defines his career.
Yeah, it's tough. He didn't do enough. That's the issue. And he did the wrong. Okay, that deadline was crummy, but they also won a round. That was a crummy deadline last year. He gave up a lot, and there's things we will never know, and it'll never come out.
True.
It might come out in 20 years from now, but what happened on that day? Clearly, the only thing that's come out is Brandon Carlo was last minute. I understand why you give up that much, but like there's gonna be more. There's more into that we just don't know. The public fans do not know.
Yeah.
But
Leslie likes to
know.
keep their
I don't
lips
know.
shut, so
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll know. He'll be maybe a documentary one day.
maybe. Actual living though, legend.
True. Kale, we talked about at the top of the episode the playoff race in the Eastern Conference.
Sure.
Anything you'd like to note on the West? I know you've been saying recently, I don't know if it was maybe a little sarcasm.
It was all sarcasm.
Oh, the Flames, the Flames, the Flames, the
sorry.
Flames. You know what?
They lost last
It's okay.
night.
Oh, that ruins their run,
What it
man.
was, man.
It's over.
They're the hottest team in the league, though,
there you
behind the
go.
Habs.
All right, give us a bit of a rundown on what the West is looking like right now, playoff picture.
Well, my eyes are on the Sharks. I think. Well, we watched it last night too. They got the mojo.
Yeah.
It's just they have
They had
their
a rough stretch, though.
I know, but they're still there though.
Yeah.
And you big Sens fan over there saying you control the Sens control their destiny. You've been saying that since like 2 months ago.
Every team control their destiny.
You've been saying that for 2 months. The Sharks legit control their destiny. They got 2 games in hand on Nashville, and they are 2 points back.
Well, there you go.
So listen, it just basic math here. If they just were to play 2 games right now and win, they would be in a playoff spot.
Well, there you go.
So my eyes are on them. I think they're probably the weakest team, but they are the most exciting team in my eyes.
Yeah, they're very fun. Very fast.
I do like the Preds. I don't want to see the Kings or the Jets make it.
Where do they sit right now? Give us a breakdown of the points.
As of right, is there a team playing right now? Just so we know. Anyways, as of March 31st, 11:52 p.m. as we record this, it's too late. The Preds are sitting pretty with 77 points in the second wild card. Utah's first with 82 points. Utah's a good team. They're not going to lose that. Then the Kings are at 76. The Jets are at 76. And the Sharks are at 75. Actually, I don't think the Kraken are even going to be close. The Jets have 74 games played, where the Kings only have 73. So technically, if the Kings win, they'll be at 78 points, which would take them over the Preds. I think they play tomorrow. But none of these teams are in, like, even the Preds. Like, I love the Preds because they're young, and they got Steven Stamkos and Ryan O'Reilly running back the clock. And Yusei Saros. I like that. I like that team. I wouldn't mind if they're in. I don't want to see the Kings in. I want to see the Jets in, but it only makes sense. It only makes sense if the Sharks make it. I called it July 16th. That episode came out, 2025. Said Michael Misa and our boy Macklin Celebrini run it. So we'll see what happens, but it's pretty crummy. It's pretty crummy, dude.
Yeah. Preds, Jets, Sharks, Kings. Kraken?
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, Kraken.
Yeah,
It's a five-way race right now.
I don't think Kraken are close.
They're at 75 points.
I don't know, but they played 73 games. You want to hear one fun fact that I just am realizing right now? Do you have your standings up right now?
Yes.
Can you close them?
Sure.
There is one team that has not played in the shootout at all.
Really?
Yeah. Can you guess?
Oh, God. Shootout? They haven't been to a shootout once this
Yeah.
year. Can you give me the conference at least?
West.
Thank you. Shootout team is the Vancouver Canucks?
No.
That's a team that's actually like in a running.
That are close? Oh, I don't know how. I can't.
All right.
The Canucks
All right.
have played 7.
Oh, God. Wow. Okay. I'm trying to think of a team that would be like bad in overtime or maybe really good in overtime. St. Louis Blues?
No. You're thinking the same. I like your thinking though. Let me see if I can find a stat that can help you here.
All right.
No, they don't have where's Rowe? Okay. This team has 29 regulation wins, and they have 39 regulation wins plus overtime.
Jeez. Okay, so they've won 10 overtimes.
Yeah.
Is it the LA Kings?
No, the Kings haven't even. No, the Kings are. The Kings have been there 12 times. They're 4-8.
Jeez, oh my God. Oh man.
It's tough. This is a dumb question. It's too hard. It's too hard for
very
you.
hard. It's a cool question. No,
It's cool, though.
Is
I
it
love it.
Is it the Nashville Predators?
No.
Oh gosh.
It's probably my second favorite team, or my second favorite team in the West right now. It's Utah Mammoth.
Ugh.
Utah Mammoth. Never been in a shootout,
that
man.
fits the narrative too. I was guessing.
That's really good for them, man. That's good for the playoffs.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's
the Canucks are.
If they had the 3-2-1-0 rule, they'd be
up.
They'd have a lot of points. Yeah, they'd be in a spot right
still
now.
played. They've won 10 games in
So
OT,
they
right?
probably wouldn't be in a central spot still, but
They've been to Utah's been to, what did we do, 16 OT games all. So
and they haven't been to a shootout once.
no,
Wow.
they've got a decent guy. Like they got a decent core that can just run it, right? Clayton Keller, Dylan Gunther.
I feel like that core would also be very good in the shootout.
I don't think they have. It's probably it's hard to judge. I can't judge teams on a shootout, honestly. Let's see. Okay, there's one team that's 8-0 in the shootout, and there's one team that's 9-4, 3-10. Jeez. Okay, the team that is 8-0 in the shootout is Anaheim Ducks. That's a team that I would definitely think is a shootout team.
Yeah.
Just this young skill guys. Trevor Zegras was there for a while.
I was about to ask, where's Philadelphia at in that conversation?
That's fine. I'm here.
You got
9-4 in the shootout.
Yeah, there you go.
Michkov, and then what? Travis Konechny, and then
Zegras.
Zegras, yeah. And then Noah Cates is there. Decent. Well, that's kind of all I can think of.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much hit everything on the list. Jim Nill resigns. I don't really. That's awesome. Shout out Dallas, back-to-back GM of the year.
Three-time
Three-time
GM of the year. Yeah, man. They are. He's sticking around for even longer. His tenure continues. Caleb, if you don't have any more final thoughts, neither do I. And that will do it for another banger episode of the True North Ice podcast. We got to hit all the nails on the coffin. We're gearing up for the playoffs. Everything is fun. Everything is good. Hockey is booming. And we're having a great time. As always, check us out on all your favorite social medias, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're posting daily social media content about everything, of course, Canadian hockey related. And as always, on all your favorite podcast platforms, Caleb, which are
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, YouTube Music, YouTube, Good Pods, Castro, Podcast Addict, and many more. And yes,
iHeartRadio. Nice.
I did say iHeartRadio.
All right. Yeah, make sure to listen to us on iHeartRadio. I actually suggest that. And you should put that on your bucket list. Maybe make it your next year's New Year's resolution. And try it out. It's a great little website. I use it sometimes when I need to listen to Sens games.
I still can't believe
TSN 1200.
I can't believe you don't have that on your Spotify.
No.
I can't believe Spotify doesn't have
No,
radio.
we don't have live shows. No.
That's crazy. You know what? You know who does? Apple Music.
Yep, because they need something to stand out. All right, guys. As always, we'll talk to you very soon. For Jacob Ewing and Caleb Snyder, we say thank you for listening.